While you were sleeping last night, $6.96 billion worth of Cardano futures changed hands. That's not a typo, we're talking about the highest trading volume ADA has seen in 5 months. But here's what nobody's telling you about this massive spike. It's not just retail FOMO driving these numbers, something much bigger is happening behind the scenes. And if you're holding ADA or thinking about getting in, the next 48 hours could determine whether you're riding the wave or watching from the sidelines. Stay with me because what I'm about to show you could completely change how you view Cardano's next move. What's going on, crypto family? Before we dive into this Cardano analysis, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell because the crypto market is moving fast right now, and you don't want to miss these opportunities. Let's talk about what futures volume actually means and why you should care. When institutional traders and whales want to make big moves, they don't just market buy on Coinbase like retail investors. They use leverage, they use derivatives, and they use futures contracts to amplify their positions without moving the spot price immediately. So when Cardano's futures volume explodes to $6.96 billion, the highest we've seen since August 2024, that's not just random noise, that's smart money positioning, that's institutions placing their bets, that's the kind of volume that precedes major price movements. But here's where it gets interesting. This volume spike isn't happening in isolation. We've got multiple catalysts converging at exactly the same time. Cardano's ecosystem upgrades are accelerating. The broader crypto market is in full bull mode. ADA just broke above $1 for the first time since March 2024. Whale accumulation is increasing. And here's the kicker: Cardano ETF approval odds just hit 82% on Polymarket. Are we looking at the perfect storm for an ADA breakout? Or is this just another bull trap waiting to happen? Now, before you start celebrating and planning your Lambo purchase, let's pump the brakes and look at what's really happening here. Because smart money doesn't just throw $7 billion at a cryptocurrency without having inside information. Ali Martinez, one of the most accurate crypto analysts on Twitter, just dropped a bombshell technical analysis. He's identified what he calls a symmetric triangle breakout pattern on ADA's chart. For those who don't speak technical analysis, this is basically a coiled spring ready to explode in either direction. Martinez is calling for a move to $1.10. That's a potential 20% gain from current levels. But here's what's keeping me up at night. Symmetric triangles can break either way, and when they break down, they break hard. Look at the current price action. ADA pumped over 33% last week, touching $1.05. But then what happened? It got rejected. Hard. We're now sitting at $0.918, and that psychological $1 level that everyone was celebrating, it's now acting as resistance. This is where futures volume becomes crucial. See, when you have massive futures volume like we're seeing now, it amplifies everything. If ADA breaks up, those leveraged long positions create a buying cascade that could send us to Martinez's $1.10 target in a matter of hours. But if it breaks down, those same leverage positions become forced selling that could crash the price back to 70 cents or lower. And here's something that's bothering me about this whole setup. The timing feels almost too perfect. We've got maximum retail euphoria, ETF hopium at all-time highs, technical breakout patterns, and record futures volume. When everything aligns this perfectly in crypto, it's either the start of a massive bull run or the market setting up retail for one of the biggest rug pulls we've seen all year. So, which is it? Let me show you what the data is really saying. Alright, let's cut through the noise and look at the hard data. Because while everyone's getting caught up in the ETF hype and the futures volume, there are 3 key metrics that tell the real story. First, market cap analysis. Cardano's market cap is sitting at $32.7 billion. That puts it at #9 on CoinMarketCap. Here's the thing. For ADA to hit that $1.10 target, we need the market cap to push toward $40 billion. That's an additional $7.3 billion in market cap. Is that realistic? Absolutely. Solana did it, Avalanche did it, but here's the catch. It needs sustained buying pressure, not just futures speculation. Second, on-chain metrics. The whale activity Martinez mentioned is real. Large holders have been accumulating ADA for the past 3 weeks. Addresses holding 10,000 plus ADA have increased by 2.3% this month. That's institutional level buying. But here's what concerns me. Active addresses are only up 8% compared to the 33% price increase. That suggests this rally is being driven more by speculation than actual network usage and adoption. Third, the ETF reality check. Everyone's talking about the 82% ETF approval odds on Polymarket. But let me give you some perspective. Those same odds were at 75% for a Solana ETF, and look how that turned out. The SEC has been consistently rejecting altcoin ETFs, and even if they approve a Cardano ETF, it could be months before it actually launches and starts driving real buying pressure. So here's my take. The futures volume spike is real, the technical setup is real, and the momentum is building. But we're at a critical inflection point. If ADA can reclaim $1 and hold it for 48 hours, Martinez's $1.10 target becomes very achievable. The combination of short covering, momentum buying, and FOMO could create the perfect buying cascade. But if we get rejected at $1 again, those leveraged positions become a liability. We could see a fast move back to 82 cents or even 70 cents. My strategy? I'm watching the 95 cents level like a hawk. If we break above it with volume, I'm looking for that push to $1.10. But if we break below 90 cents, I'm stepping aside until we find a bottom. Now I want to hear from you. Are you bullish or bearish on Cardano's chances of hitting $1.10? And more importantly, do you think this futures volume spike is smart money positioning or just retail FOMO? Drop your ADA price predictions in the comments. I read every single one and I'll be responding to the best analysis. And here's a question that's been keeping me up at night. If Cardano gets an ETF approval, does that make it a legitimate Ethereum competitor, or is it just another speculative asset? I want to know what you think because this could change everything about how we value ADA long-term. Look, crypto moves fast and opportunities like this don't last forever. Whether you're holding ADA or just watching from the sidelines, the next 48 hours are going to be crucial. Make sure you're subscribed because I'll be covering every major development in this Cardano situation. We're potentially looking at one of the biggest altcoin moves of the year, and I don't want you to miss it. Hit that like button if this analysis helped you understand what's really happening with ADA, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll be breaking down the 3 altcoins that could 10x if this crypto bull run continues. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Cryptocurrency investments are highly volatile and risky. You could lose all of your invested capital. Always do your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. I may hold positions in the cryptocurrencies discussed in this video. Past performance does not guarantee future results.